Hi, everybody. It's Stacy Silva with Salon Today and Data-Driven Salon, and I'm interviewing our first speakers. You guys are going to start our lineup on September 12th at Data-Driven, which is co-located with America's Beauty Show, and I've got Rowena Yeager and Jen LeBlanc, and I'll have each of you tell them who you are.
Okay. You want to go first, Rowena, or you want me to go first?
I'm gonna pass the mic. I'm
Okay.
passing the mic
My name
to
is
you,
Jen
dropping
LeBlanc.
it down.
I am the operations manager and director of marketing for Salon Roots and N Salon Studios here in Medina, Ohio. We are a 10-time Salon Today 200 salon and super excited to be here.
And a big stamp honoree as well.
A big stamp honoree as well too. Yep.
And Rowena?
My name is Rowena Yeager. I am the proud creator of Studio Wish Salon. We have been around for 20 years. We've been Salon Today Top 200 for 13, and we're located in Twinsburg, Ohio, and my daughter actually works with me as well.
So you all have a unique data-driven history, because how far apart are your salons in Ohio?
About 40 minutes.
Yeah.
40 minutes, but you met at our first Data-Driven.
We did. We met at your first Data-Driven in the airport and then rode a taxi together to the hotel. And it was actually you, Stacy, who threw it out to me that you felt like Rowena and I possibly were arriving at the same time. And I ran into her in baggage claim. And
wow, was I really that sophisticated?
You were really that sophisticated, because I had asked if anyone from our area was attending, and you said, you know what? Rowena is. And so we didn't connect, but we met in baggage claim. And it's kind of funny because she was not a fan of our business model at that time. Matter of fact, she did not care very much for myself or our salons at all. And at the end of the cab ride, we were quick friends. We were fast BFFs.
And that's because you have one salon that's employment-based and one that's rental-based.
Correct. So our model is growing stylists from roots to end. So the booth rental studio suite model is a growth pattern for our salons. But at the time, that was more of a tabooed topic. And after about an hour, it was like 50-minute cab ride from the airport to the hotel, she understood our who, what, when, where, and why. And suddenly that broke down the barrier between the two of us. And I'm hard not to love. So, I mean.
Totally. Yeah. So what happened was, I started years and years ago, a Ohio Salon Owner Networking Group. And I started it patterned off of being a member of TSA, PBA, and also president of the PBA Salon and Spa section. And when we started the Ohio Salon Networking Group, it was legitimately with salon owners. And so it wasn't supposed to be with independent contractors or rental owners or anything like that. So, there's always been this stigma of, not wanting to collaborate with the two. And I kept getting these owners, especially Jen and Sheila and Jen, wanting to be part of the Ohio Salon Owner Networking Group. And I got a lot of pushback on it. And I kept thinking, maybe there's something more there. So I actually went into the conversation with Jen just to try to kind of figure out, why the hell would they ever open a employment-based salon and a rental salon? I just couldn't put the thought of why you would do two together until I heard their story. And then once I heard their story and realized that their whole purpose and their whole mission was to really grow stylists, so like she says, from roots to ends. And I listened to the story and completely understood. And I do think that there are a lot of missing gaps in our industry that they have found a way to fill. And I think that, taking that opportunity to listen to them and hear them makes a big difference.
Well, and they were a little ahead of the curve because there are a lot of owners that are exploring that now. So
yes, correct. Yeah.
But we're a little off topic. Let's go back to data-driven. You all, I've charged you with the task of talking about KPIs, because we always address some 5 core KPIs, but you guys are going to do it a little differently and talk about some of the futuristic things that salons are doing to drive some of those numbers. So talk about some of the things you think you might be talking about.
Great, absolutely. So, within our industry, there's been a lot of shifts that have happened, and a lot of these shifts that have happened are really related to how we are leading our teams, how we're guiding our teams, and how we're directing them. The results are those KPIs that we tend to look at. So what we're doing is we're looking at a futuristic shift of how are we going to really help to generate a higher service revenue ticket, a higher average retail ticket, a higher combined ticket. And then what about retention? You know, because when we look at retention, a lot of times we're looking at retention from a client standpoint and our client retention, but we also take into consideration employee retention. So employee retention is another huge piece. So really, what is the mind shift that needs to happen within a salon owner to really take a look at things from a different futuristic perspective instead of the traditional ways that we've always done?
So with that, you know, the data is the life, us tracking data is the lifeline of the salon. Your health of the salon obviously comes back to metrics. And some of the fun points that we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about being deskless, being a fully mobile salon. We're going to touch on some e-commerce because that's adding into your retail numbers, but that's not an in-service. That's not going to grow your in-service ticket size. So we're going to touch on a lot of different ways that salons are approaching in order to continue to grow those metrics, along with, you know, the world has evolved, you know, and as the industry continues to innovate, so are the KPIs, you know, so the numbers that we're tracking in order to gauge our lifeline is adjusting as well. So it's going to be fun for us to talk about new approaches and new angles as to, you know, how we see it.
And talking about evolving, you all are big Clubhousers. And I don't know if that's a word, but you're on Clubhouse and you're one of the first early adopters. And I think, Rowena, you're the first one to describe it to me. But you all, your friendship has gone to now you have a Clubhouse room. So talk a little bit about that. And then we're going to try to attempt to do your session in an interactive way and do it Clubhouse style. So how is that going to work, do you think?
So it's interesting, you know, when I first heard about Clubhouse, it was from Carrie Bennett, and she invited me into this room in this new app. And I'm like, what the heck is this? And then once I got in there, I was like, oh my gosh, I got to talk to Jen about this. So literally, I think it was actually the next morning, her and I usually text, talk something in our early hours in the morning once we've gotten up and kind of gotten moving for our day a little bit. And so I called her and I said, oh my gosh, you got to download this app. Instead of us having conversations now on the phone, this is what you and I should do. Let's have our conversations publicly with our industry and see who else wants to participate. We've got some good things we talk about. Maybe there's someone else out there that would like to join us. So that's kind of how it initially started. And then we did our first room and we've started doing them in the mornings. We tend to host them anywhere between 8:30 all the way up to like 10 o'clock. And then on Fridays, a lot of times we'll do one in the afternoon. We are going to also be starting doing a book club that we're going to do on Tuesdays. And that actually starts this coming Tuesday. And we're going to do the Leadership book by John Maxwell, which our Clubhouse is called the Leadership Circle. And it's all about the reality of when we are in business and in life, there's a lot of times things get thrown at us like COVID, and we have to shift, but there's times where we have choices to shift as well. And when do we make those shifts? So that's how it kind of evolved into what it is now.
And with that, you know, for myself, in my opinion, it's the truest, most organic education out there in the industry right now. You know, so for me, it's quality, you know, and we have dedicated 2 to 3 mornings a week, and I don't really feel like we've ever had a boring conversation. So we're so excited to bring this format in, because something that started as like an innocent conversation and chatting back and forth, our rooms have hundreds of people in them now. So that's super exciting to know that we have a following. And if we're late to our own room, we both hear from people wanting to know, Are you doing a room today? I'm waiting, you know? So, I mean, that's outrageously fun for me. So that gets me going in the morning. You know, when people are waiting for you to talk and waiting for you guys, us to have a conversation, that's super awesome. So we're so excited.
So now, because you have those conversations that are ongoing with other owners around the country on a daily basis, you know who's excelling in certain things. So that's how that's going to transition to this session is if they're in the audience, you're going to pull them up to the microphone to share.
Right.
Absolutely. And, we may pick on people too. You never know.
You never know. So it'll be interactive. It will be fun, and it'll be a great way to start data driven. So thank you all so much. And everybody out there, go to datadrivensalon.com to purchase your ticket. The early bird session rate of $3.99 expires on July 19th. So get on it, save that money. And we hope to see you there. Thanks, you all.
Thank you.